So we created a Bitcoin savings account. And what that does works very similar to a standard savings account. It pays interest on the deposits that you make to it. And the way we generate that return is by essentially aggregating small retail deposits and lending them in big chunks to institutions. And we lend them to very well capitalized institutions that are able to place collateral for those loans. That's how we protect the fact that, that's how we always know that we're going to be able to make our depositors whole. And we work with very established, I guess, and large institutions, regulated institutions, just to essentially take further precautions. And our rates in our savings products essentially reflect those rates that we can get from an institution. And we take a small spread for providing the service.
Hey everybody, hope you guys are all doing well today. In this video, I'm going to talk to you guys about this new lending platform that I came across. Its model is very similar to other lending platforms I've reviewed in the past, like BlockFi and Celsius. However, unlike the other platforms, Ledn offers a service that allows users to basically double their Bitcoin. Now, if you're a fan of these lending platforms or you're a big fan of DeFi, you're going to want to listen in closely to what I'm about to say next. I'm currently in the process of switching over from MailChimp to Substack, and the motivation behind the move is that I want to give you guys a better experience. And so I oftentimes make moves, I make purchases, and I get interest rate distributions. And it usually takes me a while to share everything with you guys. So in an effort to streamline that whole process, I'm going to switch over to Substack and start sending you guys more frequent updates. This will include new platforms I'm testing out, new videos I've produced, screenshots of interest payment distributions. If that's something that piques your interest, make sure you guys click the link in the description below, sign up with your email address, and within a couple weeks, my Substack account should be operational, and I'll be sending you guys regular updates with my Substack account. And if you guys find yourself enjoying the content, do me a huge favor by liking the video, commenting down below, and subscribing to this channel. With that being said, let's go ahead and dive into this review. Let's quickly talk about why you should consider using more than one lending platform. The first reason is obvious. It's a good way to diversify your risk because you are giving your assets to a third party, so there are inherent risks in doing that. Despite these platforms taking aggressive action to mitigate risk, there's no way to bring that risk down to zero. I personally haven't had any funds stolen from any one of these lending platforms, but one subscriber in my last video did comment below that after the BlockFi hack, someone got access to a Celsius account and was able to withdraw $15,000. And since the individual was using more than one lending platform, he didn't get completely cleaned out. Another reason to think about using more than one lending platform is because many of these lending platforms offer different rates for different crypto assets. Also, many of them give higher rates for a limited amount of crypto. For example, BlockFi oftentimes limits its premium rate to the first 3 to 5 Bitcoin that you have deposited on their platform. Not only that, the rates across the platforms tend to fluctuate. So you can really optimize your returns if you shift your assets to the platform that's offering you the most attractive yield. And the nice thing about this platform is that to get that 4.1% on Bitcoin, they don't have any limits like other platforms. So regardless of how many Bitcoin you put on Ledn, you'll get that 4.1% rate. Thirdly, they also offer a different combination of services, and even the rates that they offer for their respective loans are different. So you may not find a single platform that services all the needs that you have. And so for that reason, it would make sense to take advantage of the exclusive services offered by the respective platforms. For instance, I'm going to show you guys a unique feature on this platform that isn't available anywhere else to my knowledge. Lastly, it's healthy to experiment with different platforms. If I didn't experiment, I wouldn't have found out about Celsius, BlockFi, some of these decentralized platforms. So in my view, it's a very healthy practice to experiment with these different lending platforms because the entrepreneurs in this space are very innovative. And if you make the right moves, you can really leverage the financial services they offer to really leapfrog your peers who are asleep to all the innovation that's happening in this space. All right, to begin with, let's give you guys a quick background on the platform. But before I do that, I just wanted to disclose that this is not a sponsored review. The only way I make money through this review is when you click my referral link below and sign up to use the platform. Much like Celsius, this platform also custodies their assets with BitGo. If you've watched my past videos, you know that BitGo provides insurance up to $200 million. This does not mean that your money is FDIC assured. All it means is that if there's some sort of hack or anything happens to the assets that are in the cold wallet, their insurance will cover some of those losses. Through a collaboration with Genesis Capital, they're able to provide a Bitcoin and a USDC savings accounts product. And currently you can get 4.1% on Bitcoin and 7.5% on USDC. For those of you guys who are new to the space, Genesis Capital is a very large name. It offers institutions the ability to borrow Bitcoin, Ether, Litecoin, and other digital currencies in large sizes over fixed terms, with over 3.1 billion in digital asset loans processed in 2019. Genesis is renowned for dealing with an elite group of limited institutions and uses best-in-class standards for its lending processes and reporting. Within the crypto community, Genesis Capital is the largest and most established institution in digital asset lending. Due to their reputation, they actually are affiliated with other companies, for example, Grayscale, which many of you guys have probably heard of by now. They've been in the news a lot because they've been buying a lot of Bitcoin and a lot of Ethereum. In addition to Grayscale, they're also affiliated with Digital Currency Group. This is the team. Personally, I've been in contact with the co-founder. He's the guy that you saw in the video clip that I played in the beginning of the video. He actually got into Bitcoin because of his younger brother. His younger brother was mining Bitcoin. And because of his brother's mining, it prompted him to do a deep dive into Bitcoin. He quickly saw the potential and he got actively involved. Because Mauricio's brother was a miner in Venezuela, he quickly realized the problem many miners were having. He observed that for many miners who needed short-term liquidity, they actually had to sell some of their Bitcoin to meet some of their short-term needs, and oftentimes that would result in them missing out on Bitcoin's gains. Around 2015-ish, Mauricio and some of his buddies came up with the concept that would allow miners to keep their exposure to Bitcoin, but also service some of their short-term liquidity needs. And this concept quickly became a reality after their first seed round in September 2018. And because of his and his team's hard work, Ledn is a fully functioning platform that's been battle tested and is ready to compete with some of the incumbents like Celsius and BlockFi. So now I'm going to give you guys a quick tutorial of the platform. When you guys log in, this is going to be your home screen. It's basically a dashboard where you get a bird's eye view of your entire account, which includes all the assets you have deposited on the platform, and it also gives you detailed summary of your outstanding loans. I did load this up with $1,000 worth of Bitcoin. My tentative plan is to show you guys how the borrow feature works, but I'm not going to do that in this video. I'm going to show you guys that in a later video. But if you guys were curious and you guys wanted to get real-time updates, I recommend subscribing to that newsletter that I referred to in the beginning of the video. So to earn that 4.1% on Bitcoin and 7.5% on USDC, all you need to do is deposit Bitcoin or USDC into the account. So to do that, let's click on Bitcoin. You'll select deposit. This QR code didn't work for me. I had to actually copy and paste the Bitcoin address, but I had no issues in terms of depositing my Bitcoin onto the platform. And since we're on this page, I do want to note that New York, Connecticut, Washington, Wyoming, if you're residents of any of those states, you won't have access to this lending product. And if you wanted to deposit USDC, you basically would follow the same step. They even have this calculator at the bottom of the page. This way you can run some quick math before you deposit your assets onto the platform. Now, when it comes to the loan product, there are some similarities, but there are also some differences between Celsius, BlockFi, and some of the other platforms that offer the same product. And if you watch my past videos, you've seen this product before, but basically it allows you to collateralize your crypto asset, in this case being Bitcoin, and use it to take out a loan. It only offers one loan to value ratio, 50%. Unlike BlockFi, which has the option of doing 30%, this platform only allows you to pick from one loan to value ratio. Now, in my view, this is a little bit misleading because when I first looked at this, I was like, oh wow, 1% interest rate. But quickly I realized that it's a monthly interest rate, so the annualized rate is roughly 12%. So for this reason, it doesn't offer you much opportunity for arbitrage. And currently you can only take out funds in USD, which requires you to get verified and put all your banking information. And the other currency that you can take it out is in DAI, which gets sent to your Ethereum address. And this is something else that I wasn't a big fan of. I wish they supported a ERC20 USD peg stablecoin, because I know of a few platforms where you can get north of 8% interest on your USD peg stablecoin, but I don't know of any platforms that currently offer robust rates for DAI except for maybe Nexo. And one feature that's very unique to the platform, and it's a feature that you won't find anywhere else, is that you can actually keep track of all the Bitcoin that you collateralize. So let's say I decided to move forward with this loan and I put up 0.105 Bitcoin. They'll actually provide me with a Bitcoin address for me to track my Bitcoin. And they're basically doing this to remain transparent. They want to do this to show you guys that they're not doing anything funny with your Bitcoin. All they're doing is basically depositing it with their custodian BitGo, and it's just sitting at the designated Bitcoin address. Before I show you guys their premier product B2X, let me quickly cover how liquidation works on the platform. So let's say you took out a Bitcoin loan at $10,000. Ledn will not liquidate your Bitcoin until it drops about 28.5% from the value on the day that it was collateralized. So for example, let's say one Bitcoin is worth $10,000. Bitcoin would have to drop to 7150, at which point Ledn would proceed to liquidate a portion of your Bitcoin to return the loan to value ratio back to 50%. But because they don't want their clients to get liquidated, they'll actually give you a warnings ahead of time. So as your loan to value ratio approaches 65%, they'll give you an email warning. They might even call you. And once it hits 70%, they'll really get on your case about either adding more collateral or paying back some of the loan so you don't get liquidated. And part of the reason why it's important to note the liquidation policies, because oftentimes people take out a loan to buy even more Bitcoin, which works great in a bull market. But if the market moves against you and it goes the other way like it did back in March, you got to move quickly to add additional collateral or pay back your loan. But if you take out your money to buy more Bitcoin and it also falls in value, it puts you in a tough spot because now you don't have enough money to pay back the loan. And unless you have additional Bitcoin in your reserve, it's very likely you'll get liquidated in a major downturn. And that's why I think it's important for you guys to know the liquidation policy and also plan to have a game plan if you're going to leverage up. Now we're going to talk about the B2X product. Again, to my knowledge, this is the only platform that offers this feature. And the reason they started offering this product was because many times people get a loan through their regular loan product. They take that loan and convert that to Bitcoin. So essentially what people do is they get a loan to add to their existing Bitcoin position. Essentially, these users are leveraging themselves by putting up their Bitcoin as collateral. Another practice observed with these individuals was that after they bought their new Bitcoin, they would lock that Bitcoin into a new loan and take out more money to buy even more Bitcoin. In theory, you could keep doing that until you've almost doubled your Bitcoin holding. Rather than opening multiple loans, Ledn has basically made it very simple and easy for you to double your Bitcoin balance. Unfortunately, this product is not available to US citizens at this time, but it is available in most countries. Now, if you take out one of these loans, in addition to the 1% monthly interest rate, you're also going to be paying a one-time 2% administration fee. But basically, with a couple clicks, you'll essentially double your Bitcoin exposure. Much like the other loans that I was talking about earlier, you can get liquidated. In fact, I would rate this as a higher risk product. But if you have high conviction that Bitcoin's price is going to move up, this would be a really quick way for you to basically double your exposure to Bitcoin. And the Bitcoin that you purchase automatically goes into your savings account, so it'll earn interest. The underlying collateral will not earn interest, but your newly bought Bitcoin will be earning interest in your savings account. Now, part of my original plan was to show you guys how this worked by actually taking out one of these loans, because currently I'm pretty bullish on the price of Bitcoin. I think there's a good chance it may go up, but unfortunately I don't have access to this product because I'm a US citizen. However, if you're planning to use this product and you have access to it, If you have any questions, I encourage you guys to express any inquiries in the comment section below. I have been in direct correspondence with the founder, so if you have any questions that I can answer, I'll make sure to forward those to the founder. And given that I'm still a relatively small channel, I tend to be very responsive, so there's a good chance that you'll get your question addressed promptly. Now, to conclude the video, I'm going to give you guys my closing thoughts. Is this a platform that I would dump all my Bitcoin onto? The honest truth is that it wouldn't. As I was saying in the early part of this video, I like to diversify my third-party risk by putting my assets on multiple platforms. Now, there are some platforms that offer better rates. For example, you can get 6% on BlockFi at the moment. There's other platforms that even have better rates than that, but they usually require you to buy their platform's native token and lock it up for an extended period of time. For example, on Crypto.com, you have to buy 500 MCO tokens. And at the time of recording this video, each MCO token is worth approximately $5. So that's $2,500 you have to stake in MCO tokens to get the 6.5% rate. Otherwise, you're going to get something close to 4%. Here on Ledn, regardless of the number of Bitcoin that you have, you'll get 4.1%, and you don't have to buy any tokens to get that yield. Also, many platforms do force you to lock up your assets for a certain period of time. Here on the platform, there isn't a lockup period. I haven't made any withdrawals, so I can't speak from experience, but they claim on their website it shouldn't take more than 24 to 72 hours to process your withdrawal. But the bottom line is that everybody's going to have different preferences because they have different goals, they have different assets to lend out. Personally, I don't see myself using this platform a lot, only because I have a lot of my wealth allocated into Ethereum. If you guys follow me, you know that I sold some of my Bitcoin to buy some Ethereum, and I'm currently earning 6.3% by lending it out. Stay tuned for an update video if you want to learn which platform I'm using to produce that yield. And the Bitcoin that I do have, I actually have it on Crypto.com earning 6.5%. What really intrigued me about this platform was the B2X product. And like I said, I was looking forward to showing you guys how it works by using it myself. But until they allow US citizens to use the product, I won't be able to give you that tutorial. But for those of you guys outside the United States or those that don't reside in the restricted countries, I think it may be worthwhile for you guys to give this platform a test run. If we get another bull run like we did in 2017, you might find it very lucrative to use a product like this to basically double your exposure to Bitcoin. And if you guys are curious to know what my next move is and what I do with the Bitcoin that I have deposited on Ledn, make sure you guys subscribe to this channel and click the notification bell so you'll be notified when I publish my update video. With that being said, this is CryptoOneStop signing out. I'll talk to you folks next time. Bye.